winter. We live in a winter state. You have to deal with it, I guess. So we're back on this guy. I ended up moving him from our actual engine stand to this like motor stand type thing, dolly I guess you'd call it. This is for a small block Chevy, but I figured, well, the bell housing should be about close to being the same, and I have those small block ICT billet mounting plates on there, so I think this will work on there. With a little bending and persuading, it seemed to work. So what we're doing today is, I'm hoping this to be the start of the video of where we get the actual engine into the Firebird. So first thing we got to do before we do all of that is, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here, because I have to torque this balancer bolt down, and I got to try to figure out a way to hold that crank. I don't have a flywheel like locking tool or anything like that, and either way, with putting this flywheel on the back, it gets caught on, like, it hits these back mounting pieces. So I'm either thinking of trying something with the actual balancer itself, or cutting these off, putting the flywheel on, holding it, or worst case, put the bolt in, get the engine off, mount it to the trans, have that thing be in park, but I don't know if that'll hold it that much. So to torque the actual balancer bolt, it says you go to 240 foot-pounds with the old bolt, and then you take the new bolt, looks like 37 foot-pounds, and then a 140 degree, like, you know, revolution or whatever, 140 degrees more. Why can't it just be a torque spec? Whatever, that's what we gotta kind of do. What I'll probably do is, I'll put the bolt in here, try to figure out where like 140 degrees is, and then just mark it and kind of turn it to that, see if I can get it anywhere close to there. I remember doing this on this car, and I fought it. So I'm gonna try to see what I can do here, and hopefully get that thing torqued down and in. And then hopefully later in this video, we'll be dropping the motor in. I don't think that this is gonna be coming out anytime soon, because I'm gonna show you what it is outside. Not a lot of snow, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's freaking cold, dude. And I have no heat. Whoa, almost slipped. I have no heater at my grandma's. There's just a plug-in light. It's supposed to be maybe like 40s in the next couple weeks, like a week or so. So we may wait till then. But for now, we're gonna get this balancer bolt on, maybe this flywheel, this thing off of here onto the trans. So let's see what we can do. Let's get at it. All right. So here is our old bolt. We're just gonna spin this guy all the way in here. And I think what I'm gonna try to do is get this socket on here. Now see, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to find a shorter 1/2-inch socket or extension, because this is just gonna be way too long for what we're trying to do here. All right, well, it looks like I found one. We're gonna try to see what we can do here. I gotta put this torque wrench up to 200, well, yeah, 240, which is literally almost maxed out on this thing, and see what we can do here. Yeah, see, it's already spinning, which obviously we knew was gonna happen. Could probably hold it. Good luck. So what we're gonna try to do is stick this guy maybe in here somehow, some way. Yeah, something like that. We gotta turn this till it goes there, and we'll see if that works. That's like a lot, man. I don't think this being there is gonna like stop it from going in, because it's not. Well, it might actually. The more I think about it, it might. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I put this pry bar in here, it could stop it from pushing this balancer in anymore, because it's pushing on the back of here. So it's stopping it from going in. So we're not really going to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to try to correlate a plan here on what we're going to do. So, yeah, looks like you can see. So, what our problem back here is, I don't think that balancer trick's going to work. So what I kind of have to do, I feel like, is put this flywheel on. But as you can see, it's kind of hitting these corners over here. So I just got to kind of trim, you know, just a wee bit off each side. And I'm using the 5.3 flywheel because I don't want to put our like new 6-liter one on there and chip a tooth off of that or something, because then, you know, then we have to buy a whole nother flywheel. We've got multiple of these 5.3 flywheels. Oh yeah, she fits right in there now. Man, my hands are freezing out here. Alright. Now we made a mess that we just get to kneel in. It's great. Alright. Pop these guys in there, get those started. So obviously we're not using this flywheel. I'm just using this to hopefully maybe put the pry bar in on it and let it sit there and hold it. We'll see what happens. So hopefully we can do something like that and see if that'll work. 240. That's 240. Alright, that's not that bad. Damn it. See, that's what I was afraid of happening. Alright. So, old bolt's out. We're going to pop our new bolt in. So, this says, like I said, old bolt goes to 240 foot-pounds. You pull that back out, and then you put your new bolt in there, and then torque that to 37 foot-pounds, and then an additional 140 degrees. Wherever that is, I don't know. I know 90 and 180, so... Oh, this is a frickin'... Alright. That's it right there, aren't we? I mean, it's moving, dude. But golly. Whew. We're at about 90. Stay there. You didn't move on me this whole time. We're gonna call that good. Yeah, we're freaking there, y'all. Dude, this gear wrench has dealt with this 2 times now, getting that there. because I did that on the white Camaro too. Holy cow, that was rough. So I had to put a longer bolt in the back of here and then stick the pry bar through the flywheel to where it like held onto the engine actually. So that worked out. That bolt's staying there until we get it out of there because I had to pry it kind of in there. A little sketchy. So at least it worked because I was not confident in that. Whew, let me catch my breath. I'll be back. Alright, so we got our 5.3 flywheel back off. Let's grab our 6-liter. And there's a little tag on there that says engine side. So we'll put it that way. Which doesn't seem right to me because it's rubbing the bolt. I would think it would go this way. Right? That's what I would think. Okay, so I mounted this up to the torque converter. This thing says here, engine side. But if you put this up to here, on the engine side going that way, it rubs into the bolts of the actual rear cover. So they've got this stamped backwards. And I was like, okay, well, let me go make sure that if I put it on this way, with the engine side facing outwards, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that it doesn't hit anything on the torque converter, which it doesn't look like it does. So this is the way we're going to put it on, and if there's an issue, we'll deal with it down the road. Alright, so there actually was problems down the road. The 6-liter flywheel comes sold as with a spacer or without a spacer. Now, you need this spacer to do this swap to a TH400. You can buy the spacer. There's part numbers on, I'll try to find the part number and put it in the description. But there's also bolts to it also. They're different from the actual 5.3 flywheel bolts. They're a little bit longer because there's actual spacers. So you need that spacer with the flywheel to actually work with a TH400 swap. So like I said, yeah, little issues down the road, but you'll see that in the next video. Alright, so our torque specs looks like 15 pounds for the first pass, second pass 37 foot-pounds, final pass 74 foot-pounds. I don't know if there's any Loctite left in this bottle here. Oh yeah, we got a little bit. That was kind of a liberal amount. We don't have much to spare here. Reminder, order frickin' Loctite. I'm using a 15 millimeter on these. Hear how light that is? Very light. We'll go up to 37. I put the pry bar in the actual harmonic balancer because I'm not going to try to sit here and play around with these flywheel teeth and hold that. Last one, 74. Just try to go in a star pattern. Same thing as you're torquing a wheel. I always go just a little bit more. We call that Rudy torque. Anyway, that's it for me today. It's freezing out here. Pretty soon in this next part, we'll probably be pulling this thing off of here and putting it to the trans. I have to take these. I bought brand new bell housing bolts because I wanted to have the correct ones, new ones, and just didn't want a bunch of mismatched bolts. What I have to do is, I think, take these and like run a drill through this to kind of clean these holes out, because look how much junk's in there. So I'll probably do that before I just jam those in there so that they're actually free moving in there and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up. I'm turning the heater off now. I'm gonna go relax, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody. So we're back out here in the garage. I don't know where I left off on this last part, but I don't know if I'm gonna put it in there. Either way. All right, y'all. We're back out here in the garage. I think where I last left you was we put the balancer on and the flywheel on the 5.3 here. So, kind of what my plan today to do is, I recently acquired a passenger side, I think, manifold, and this is the driver side that came off of it. Now I'm running this driver side one because it's still in okay shape. The one that was on the passenger side was totally wrecked. It was really rusty. This one has been replaced before. This thing sat outside for a while, so it's probably nice and good. This one's brand new. I'm just going to take this shield off of there because I don't think we need that on. I don't want to cut my hands on it either. I got some new gaskets to hope that this thing will seal up on this passenger side head, because it's a little corrody, but looks like around the ports are pretty flat, and that's the main part where that gasket seals. So I use these on the headers on the 5.3 and this, and they work pretty well. I'm gonna have to try to find something kind of like this to go on that side, or on this manifold, because we're gonna need somewhere for our O2 sensor. Maybe I can find two, so I don't have to try to get that thing out, but either way we could just heat it and get it out of there. So I'm gonna slap those on, or see if I can get them on with this engine stand here, which I think I can. And realistically, I would like to get this thing off of here and bolted to our trans. That'd be real nice. So we're gonna tackle these manifolds, kind of see where we get. So I'll catch you here soon. All right, so I pulled our dipstick tube out. I got a few bolts here that I'm pretty sure these are manifold bolts. Yeah, those will work. So, I got, how many do I have here? Looks like there's 6 holes in our manifolds. I got 10 bolts. So we're going to be shy of 2, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. Man, these things are freaking heavy. There we go. It's always a little rough getting that first one started, you know? So if you guys are wondering why I went with a manifold, well, I'm really tapped on my budget right this moment for like headers and stuff like that. And again, like we said, we are just trying to see if this thing's gonna run. This was 50 bucks on Rock Auto, and I would rather just have this, and then down the road maybe we put a set of headers on it. I'm really thinking about long tubes, or we might get into a thing where we turbo the thing, and then we could maybe use this and buy another one for 50 bucks, flip it around and put some V-bands on it. But for right now, this is our cheapest option. I could have went to the junkyard and pulled one, but it's freezing in Cleveland, and they're like $30 at pull apart anyway, so I don't know how much of a difference that is between, it's 20 bucks difference. I mean, what are you gonna do? So I got our dipstick tube. I think this guy maybe goes down in this way. Yeah. I had to take that out to get this in there. And then it bolts to right there. So we got to get a short bolt for that, but that'll be okay for the time being. One last thing I know I'm missing on this thing is this front steam port, because it was all messed up on the other one, or the one that came with this. So we may go to the junkyard for that, just because that's 210mm and pop it right off. All right, so I got this little this freeze plug here to go in this actual hole. We're gonna see if this thing will work. I kind of have to get this thing tight until it kind of sits in there snug. Yeah, kind of like that. I've never used one of these, but seems like it'll work. So I've seen this guy do that, and then take one of these. So that it sits over it. Holds it tight there, so it doesn't come out. That should be good. We hope. If it's not, then we'll just tighten it some more. Or just actually spend the money on the plug. Alright, so kind of what I have to do here if I want to get these things kind of mated together. So I got these dryers here. This is my side business. I fix and sell dryers and washers on the side, so that's why these are here. I have to get these out of the way because what I'm thinking, realistically, the next place for this thing, that's where it's gonna go, is to my grandma's house, because we're getting to that point of probably putting this thing in the car. So what I want to do is get these dryers out of the way, get the trans. Yeah, we could probably leave the trans just about there, and then I gotta push the Camaro out a little bit so I can get this engine hoist from over here, get it in the middle of here, and then find a spot to connect these two, and then probably roll it out somehow, and then bring the dryers all the way up and into here, and then have the motor and stuff back there. So I'm gonna try to figure something out here. Maybe you guys can watch and we'll see what happens. Well, I didn't know I had the time lapse off, so that's great. But anyway, we got her drug out here, chain put on her. I was gonna try to have it be this way, but looks like we're gonna have to do it this way. Kind of wish I would have that trans back there right about now, but we'll figure something out. So I like to kind of hold these chains out of the way until we're like up, so that we don't smash our fuel rails. That's why it's so long. So realistically, I'm not going to take it up too high, and I'm going to get these back bolts out, and I got to get the ones off the mount too. So yeah, let's do that. All right, we should be able to slide our trans through here, maybe. There we go. Don't hit the Camaro. Gotta get our torque converter bolts out of here. Head this guy forward. Maybe not go into the Camaro. That'd be nice. Either of them, please. I have a big feeling that this manifold's going to get in our way. I may just take it off because I don't want to deal with it. It's not really the manifold that's going to be in the way. It's more or less going to be in the way of the hoist, I feel like. So I'm just going to pull it off just so we don't have to deal with it. Would be really nice if I could just take this today. It's 50 degrees today, you know? Why do it on a 30-degree day? Alright, so I'm going to have to get this guy up on this jack at least to try and get it up to height to get on the motor, because there's no way the oil pan's going to touch the ground before it's able to line up. So let's see how my back does. Oh my god. We may not even need to jack this thing up. We may just need to jack, oh boy, jack the motor up a little bit. Yeah, the motor's gonna have to come up some, which is okay. We are okay with that. It'd be really nice if this thing didn't spin. It'd be real nice. Should just take these tranny lines off. Okay, now we gotta jack this up a little bit again. One pump. See what that does. Yeah, I think this will work. Just have to be able to. It sucks. I wish this motor would just sit still. The dowels are lined up though, close at least. Ah, come on, baby. He's going. It's pretty straight. Do not do this if these do not go in good. You do not want to pull a trans in like that. Yep, she's flat on there. Oh boy. All right. That started in there pretty good. So we got all our bolts. This thing's pretty flat. We're gonna do one on this side. That went right in, which is great. And then maybe we get under there and do some torque converter bolts. I haven't decided yet. So I'm gonna get all these in, and then I'll bring it back with what I'm gonna do next. Well, the fluid in it looks good. Forgot about that. And I don't have a yoke to shove in there. Ugh. I gotta try to figure something out here. Or hopefully roll it like this. Get it to where the jack's from underneath it. Ugh. I don't know. Alright, so I guess my plan here is to lift this thing up, get this jack from underneath there, and then slide this pan under it. And hopefully drain this fluid into there. All right, so this thing looks like it's just kind of dripping, so I got this freaking Aldi's bag. We're gonna try to slide this guy on here, like so. Not gonna do anything. Maybe. That should be tight enough just to hold it. So we're gonna get this thing loaded in the truck. All right, y'all, I don't know if you can really see, but we got her loaded up. Oh, that engine hoist getting in there. That bag is a little full. So, let's get the heck out of here. Ah, Lola. It's always good seeing her. Can't wait to hear her run. So, we got her in here. Got her on a tire. We're leaking a little bit out of this bag back here. I gotta go get a bag from my grandma. Maybe I can just pull that off and throw it the heck away, because it shouldn't really be leaking anymore. Anyway, good step. Got it here. Next thing I'll probably do is put the torque converter bolts in it and the starter in it, because I'm not doing that under the car. I'm gonna slide up on under here and show you. Let's see if we can check out that actual, I want to see what the transmission crossmember bolts look like, or the threaded holes. Realistically, with it being clean, it shouldn't be too bad. So, they actually look to be pretty good. You can see that side over there. Maybe you could zoom in on that. And they look like they're okay. We got a shifter cable down here too, so like I said, man, this thing's freaking clean. So yeah, like I said, next things for this is hopefully get it stabbed in there, but first get those torque converter bolts and the starter in. And then I got to do a couple things with the fuel system. Radiator hoses don't look like they're probably going to work for this, but this guy's got like a -6 fitting on this return line, which may work, but what I'm going to do is take all this stuff off, and then Earl sells like a adapter to go on that 3/8 fuel line and the 5/16 fuel line to adapt to -6, and then I'll just run some braided to the actual part of the intake here where the fuel lines go. So that's the big next step. Already got the transmission cross member and everything like that, like I talked about in a previous video. We'll get everything bolted together and then hopefully stab this thing in one day. I'm trying to get here when it's like at least above 30 degrees, because those below 30 degrees days are just rough. It's cold. We got time before the spring, but I'd like to have this thing running by that time. We'll see what happens, how the weather goes and stuff. I got to go get the ECU tuned or turned into like a standalone pretty much. So maybe if it gets really cold again, we'll do that. So it's kind of like we did something. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Look at that little hat. Used to wear that when I was a kid. Found it on the ground in here. Let her sit up there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Can't remember how long the video is. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you. Good step getting this thing in here. Hopefully, like I said, we'll get all the stuff we need to pop her in there and find a nice day to do it. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. If not, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.